Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javanokelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Greetings, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining me for another incredible session here of the African Father in America podcast. I am live and direct in Seattle, Washington, and I am really grateful for your time and for your continued support. We have another amazing African proverb that is going to be the center of our conversation today, and we are also live streaming on Clubhouse. For those of you who don't know, we have an incredible community that we began building in real life, and then Clubhouse came about, and we began building this beautiful community through Clubhouse and now on YouTube. And we've been doing this. This is our third year, since January 2021 is when we began broadcasting this podcast officially. So this is a space that we love and we hold in high esteem. And we come here every single Monday to Friday, except when we have, great commitments, whether it's work or other commitments that do not allow us to be here, is only when we can miss it. But I have an incredible team here with me that is going to help us make today's conversation really beautiful. So I just want to quickly let them say hello to you before we continue. Today we don't have a guest. Throughout this week, if you've been following the efforts that we are putting into this program, you will see that we've had guests throughout the week, and we are still looking for guests. So if you're watching this, share in the comment if you want to be a guest on the show, and we will reply and make that happen. But for now, I want to take a moment. I want to just give my team who are joining me for today's conversation a chance to say hi to you, and then I'm going to share our proverb and our 3 nuggets of wisdom, and then we will begin the conversation officially. So Lavender, if you're ready, I'll start with you. Just say hello quickly, and then we will move on to the next person.
Hi everyone, Lavender. What a week. I'm looking forward to today so we can finish with a bang.
Excellent. Thank you, Lavender. And I am continuing on here. Just go ahead, Stella, and say hello quickly. I see Cabs is here. I see Brother Earth. I want you to go ahead and say hi just quickly, Stella.
Hello, everyone. This is Stella from Kenya. Hello. Hi. I'm looking forward to the show today. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Stella, for being here. And also, Steven, share with us just quickly. How are you doing? Just quickly. Hi.
Hello, everyone. I'm doing great. It's a Friday and the last day of this week's session. I'm looking forward to a more interactive end of the week. Thank you.
Wonderful. Hey, Cabs, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Good to see you all today. I always love these proverbs. Good to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. Brother Earth, just go ahead and say hello, and then, we will begin the show officially.
Greetings, families. Brother Earth from the North Carolina territory. Another beautiful Friday, another beautiful proverb. Greetings, village. Peace.
Peace and love to you. And also to all of you who are on Clubhouse, take a minute, ping in 3 to 5 people to join us for today's episode of the African Father in America podcast. And our episode today, as usual, is grounded on another amazing African proverb. Today we are going to the Congo. I don't know if this proverb is from Lubumbashi or Kinshasa, but we are in the Congo, and it says that children are the reward of life. Children are the reward of life. We prepared for you.
Simon.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for interrupting you. I have a friend of yours who also want to shout out from my end.
Shout out, Mr. Simon.
Your name.
My name is John. Simon, we were with you in high school, so we happened to be with Steve in the same workshop. So I just said, like, we need a space in your, what do you call it? Organization for us to bring in a couple of programs. I think maybe we'll talk about this later, but cheers, man.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Nice to hear your voice. It's always beautiful hearing, voices of people that we grew up with, and I'm just happy that you're involved with the work in the community. Yes, so this is your space too, so feel free to come one day as a guest. Stephen will let you know more how you can do that. But as we continue the conversation, I want to share the 3 nuggets of wisdom. Every day during this show, we share the proverb, we share the 3 nuggets of wisdom, and then we also hear from our guests. We've been really, really lucky this entire week. We've hosted some amazing guests, from Monday to yesterday. So I'm going to give my team a chance to reflect on the week. So today, if you're joining us as part of the team, just be aware that besides sharing your interpretation and where you are and how you're doing, you will also just reflect on this past week and what you're looking forward to next week in regards to this show. This show is popularly known as the Daily African Proverbs, but it's being produced here as part of the African Father in America podcast. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, take a minute and do that. And also, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, take a minute to do that. And also make sure you comment down below. And also, there are amazing opportunities in the description for this video. We are partnering with a lot of tech companies and apps and programs, and we would love for you to to take advantage of those opportunities, because this program, the way that it's being produced, we have to use tools, different apps and different programs. And so those people who are making these tools are beginning to see the value of this show. And so we are becoming partners with them, and we want to give you access to some of the opportunities that we are getting. I just want to whisper something to someone who is here with me real quick. Now, I want to go straight into the 3 nuggets of wisdom for today. The first one here says that children are a source of life-changing joy and love. And I'll just keep going through them quickly. The second one says that every moment that is shared with children should be cherished. And then the last one says that raising children is a blessing, but also requires dedication and hard work. I can definitely relate to all these 3 nuggets of wisdom that my team prepared for you today, especially because, I'm a full-time father as well. Besides running One Vibe Africa for the last almost 20 years, really, and running One Vibe Media over the last 3 to 5 years. I have a daughter who is almost 10 years, and I have 2 others, that are, growing up, and I have to do everything that these 3 nuggets of wisdom, advised us to do today. And I agree with all of them. And I want to hear what everyone else has to say, because what's beautiful about this platform is that it brings other young parents of African descent to the same space every day. We are able to not just share a safe space where we can have conversations and ground ourselves in, our ancestral wisdom, but also we can gain ideas of how to be better parents on a daily basis from each other. So if you're listening and somebody who has a young family somewhere and they're always desperate for community and people that they can connect with, and especially if they're people of African descent, you should let them know that there's the African Father in America podcast and you can be a part of that community. Now I want to just quickly come to you, Lavender. You know, when you looked at this proverb from the Congo, it says children are the reward of life, you know. I want you to speak to it a little and also take your time. If you have any announcement or anything you want to add to it, also take your time and share it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Simon. This is Lavender. I'm speaking from Seattle, Washington. A few days ago, we had one of our audiences mention that she's not African. But let's get into the point of mentioning where we are speaking from so that people joining us for the first time can relate or be certain that this is not a platform for a specific group of people, or it's for everybody. Everybody's welcome to join. My thoughts about today's proverb, children are the reward of life. I totally agree with today's proverb, and that being an aunt of or an auntie of more than 20 children, they teach you. Kids change you for life, and it's always a learning process whenever you have your kids around. They watch you keenly, they teach you to be a better person every day. That's if you love your children. I've come to learn that not everybody loves their children, but those who love their children change to become better people. So children are the best gift once you take note of that. I'm usually keen to listen to my nieces and nephews because I'm always eager to learn what they know or what they're learning. Maybe I missed something through my growth. And the other thing I'd like to mention is, if you have somebody you're keen on us listening to or can be a resource for this platform, please reach out to me and I'll guide you through how they can book sessions with us. Also, I'd like to mention about the resources we have on our YouTube link. When you click on the YouTube link pinned at the top of this room, you'll find, when you go to the information section, you'll find a lot of resources on there. You'll find a link to buy Simon's book, Rooted in Love. When you want to dive deep into the world of love and its self-discovery, make sure to get that book. Also, we have our trip to Kenya coming up in February. The first trip is February 1st and the second is July 10th. If you're not ready for the February 1st one, make sure you book for the July 10th. Where will the trip be? The trip will be in Kenya. What will we be doing? We'll be immersing ourselves in culture. We'll explore Kisumu and the Western region. We'll dive deeply into the work One Vibe does in Kenya and the community we are situated right in the middle of. This also gives us a chance to directly interact with the locals. We'll work closely with diverse business and entrepreneurs, and you'll be able to identify investment opportunities and explore business ideas. The other thing is that these trips are family friendly. You can bring your children, we already have groups of people that are bringing children for these trips. To finish up the trip, we'll visit Masai Mara for 3 days. If you don't know Masai Mara, if you've never experienced the Big Five, there is a chance for you to do that, and it will be for all 3 days. You'll be hanging out at the Maasai village, and the other thing I don't want to miss is exploring Kenya through food. You'll have fresh food, you'll have enough to eat, you'll be able to pluck fruits right from the trees and just enjoy them. The website link to find more information and book is www.onevibexperience.com. Please be sure to drop me a text or reach out to me if you have any questions about the trip. And also, I'd like to mention the resources back on the YouTube link. We have apps that we're using to produce this amazing podcast. We have resources to help you with editing and live streaming. We have resources to help with web hosting. So check it out and let me know what you think or if you have any questions. Thank you so much, Simon, for your time.
Excellent. Thank you, Lavender, for your incredible contribution, and also the amazing announcements that you shared with us in regards to what's going on in the One Vibe world. Now I want to continue on. I want to welcome another amazing contributor to this space, and also a colleague of mine at One Vibe, Stella. How are you? Where are you joining us from? And also, what do you think about today's proverb? What are your reflections on this week? Who is the guest that moved you? And, what are your thoughts about next week? Thank you so much. Oh, and just before you come on, Stella, I want to bring on Brainy Beats, who is an award-winning producer from Ghana. He's here in Seattle at the moment. This is where he calls home, and we are doing great things together with him as well. We just started something that is going to become the talk of the African diaspora. I won't say much, but you will all see. So Stella, go ahead.
Thank you, Simon. Hello, everyone. This is Stella from Kenya. And today's proverb is a good one. And I think the Congolese people were full of wisdom when they came up with the proverb, because I believe they were trying to emphasize on the fact that family matters a lot. And I believe what we formed here in Clubhouse on the Daily African Proverbs on AFIAPodcast, we've formed like a family. And it matters a lot, and that's why every day we show up Monday to Friday just to listen to the wisdom from one another. Again, I also believe that children are a source of joy and hope. And that's something I've experienced firsthand with both my children and my neighbors' children, and even with my relatives' children. Because just like you were saying the other day, children really don't care about all the things they care about. For them, it's really simple. Life is simple, life is beautiful, and life is supposed to be enjoyed every single moment. And they do so well in showing us that every single day. So we are always trying our best to shape their character and share our values with them and try to provide guidance. However, just like I said, they're not so worried so much about what will happen tomorrow. They're always living in the moment. And that's something that has always challenged me. So I believe this proverb is trying to show us to always cherish the moments with our loved ones and try to find peace and stability in our families and in the bonds we create together. Otherwise, thank you, and I'm happy to be here today.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Stella, for your contribution. Before we come to you, Stephen, I just want to let everyone who's watching on YouTube to know that we deeply appreciate you. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment below with your thoughts. And also share the video if you feel that some of the things that you're hearing are inspiring for you. Make sure you're sharing the video with your community. Go ahead, Stephen. Share with us where you're joining us from, what today's proverb means to you, and also your reflection on this week, because you've been here the whole week. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me again, Simon. I'm Steven, joining from Kisumu, Kenya. And I must say this week have been a very educative week. The proverbs and topics that we've had throughout this week have been very, very life reflective. And the speakers as well have been very amazing. I've learned a lot from the speakers. I've learned a lot from the proverbs and topics that we had throughout this week. And I must say that it was worth full time spent throughout this week. As far as this proverb is concerned, trying to relate it to a say in Kiswahili that says that watoto ni sahani kutoka kwa Mungu. Maybe if I try translating that is that children are a plate from God, and we all know the importance of a plate to us in the African setting. There are many phrases that are related to plate because plate is where we serve our meals on. Plate is where we serve our guests on, and that brings this proverb home to me that the gift of a child is something very cherishable, and if you have a child in your life, it brings a lot of changes in your life. Having a child changes your way of behavior. It humbles you, and it gives you the sense and the view of life from a different lens. If you used to view life in a different perception or perspective, then the moment that children are into your life, be it that they're yours or they're children that you are relating with, you will start viewing life in a different way. So I can't stop talking about children because I really love kids, my own, and the bond between me and my children have really changed me personally as a person. And from title, from being a mere Steve to now a dad, you see, and from being an uncle, if you go, you just get many changes in your life that gives you that sense of viewing life differently, and the importance and the values that children bring into our lives. Thank you, and it was a wonderful topic that we are discussing today. Thank you again, Simon.
Excellent. Thank you again, Stephen, for your wonderful contribution, and also for the work you're doing to continue supporting community and a lot of children in Kenya, in Kisumu particularly. I want to just quickly, before we come to you, Cabs, I want to give a quick shout out to M. Jewel. And M. Jewel is saying on YouTube that, yes, children are the reward of life. And she says that my son is my greatest reward. His presence encourages me to be better for her and for him and for everybody else that they encounter. So that's really beautiful comment there. You can also share your comment if you're watching this video right now. Make sure you share your comment about today's proverb from Congo. It says that children are the reward of life. Let us know in the comment what this proverb means to you, and give this video a thumbs up if this conversation is uplifting to you. If you're just joining us for the first time on YouTube, this conversation takes place on Clubhouse as well. So if you're hearing voices, those are voices of community that we've been building for years now. And you're going to hear from Cabs, who is also another great contributor to this space. Cabs, how are you? Where are you joining us from? And what are your thoughts on the proverb? What are your reflections on this week? And what are your idea or expectations or dreams for this coming week?
Oh, thank you so much, Simon, Lavender, Stella, Stephen, for your shares and for being committed to this room every day. So today, children are the reward of life, from Congo. For me, I always look at it and think life is continued from children. We are here thousands of years later because of children. It's sort of like you see people even doing fertility treatments just to have a child, because for so many people, they grew up and that is the ideal, that is the dream. I know traditionally in the African societies and even many other societies around the world, your status was also determined by your ability to have children. So it is such a huge thing and a huge space it took in people's lives. And for me as a mom, just like everybody else has said here, my children have transformed my life, have made me a better human being, have made me question things, and have made me want to do better so that they have a better life. And looking at me and my husband, we want to be the best examples they can see, because we do indeed understand that this is a sacred duty, being a parent and the gift of children. So that's my thought on that proverb. I think this week has just been excellent. I have learned so much from the people in the room. Yesterday we had Johnny No Good, who I call in my head Johnny Do Good. And I was just really impressed with the transformation in his life. And I think some of my big takeaways from his story is the people that speak into your life, that change your life. The lady who was the prophet, his grandfather that he talked about, and the books that he's been reading. He talked about a quote from James Baldwin that was related to the proverb. And James Baldwin is also one of the authors I enjoy. And he said something to the effect, I didn't exactly have it very clear, but it was related to the proverb about children never listened to what they say, but they follow the behavior, which was related to the proverb, when you show the moon to a child, it sees only your finger, the Zambian proverb we had yesterday. He also talked about his investment in starting a club for mental health for Black men. And I just like the positivity that he's about. So I'm taking from him just that positivity and thinking in my life more positive things I can do. He also talked about some books that changed his life, and I already I've queued on my list the 4 agreements. I think it's one of the ones that he talked about. He talked about 3 of them. So I'll be applying some of the ideas and the lessons that he shared. For Celine Brozovic, I also really enjoyed the session with her. And I think the proverb for that day was, a poor child doesn't know his father's poverty. I'm feeling that right now after Christmas. I know there's so many bills staring at me, and I'm just like, wow, things must go on. So definitely such wisdom in the father in that proverb. And I loved just hearing about, for her, your health is everything. I mean, she had this high-powered, well-paying Fortune 1 company that she was working at. And she learned, after almost committing suicide and her health going down and down and down, that what changes things is focusing on wellness. And that is really what inspires and motivates her. And she gave us a lot of ideas. I was looking at my health routines, and one of the things I said I started doing more is drinking more water. So I'm just really grateful for the speakers that are coming in this room, the impact they're having on some of us who are listening. I've talked a lot, but I will hand the mic back to you, Simon. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, thank you. It's good that you are giving Johnny his flowers and he's down there listening. I just want to welcome Duchess as well, and I see Kesiwa is also in the room. Thank you, Kesiwa. Kesiwa is always very action oriented. Yesterday I asked Kesiwa to help me find other guests for the show, and I have to tell you that my Instagram inbox is full and a lot of people have already booked for the show. So I just love and appreciate your actions, Kesiwa. But now we want to come to you, Brother Earth. You are also an amazing supporter, and really you're a pillar to this show. My children already know you because of how consistent you are with this show. Your voice travels with us a lot of the time when we are driving, so I just want to let you know that you're deeply appreciated. Share with us how this week was for you, what today's proverb means to you, and what are some of your dreams for next week in regards to the show as a whole.
Hey, gratitude, Simon. If you would, could you come back to me in a second?
Yes, no problem.
Gratitude.
Yeah, man. I'll come to you in a second. I just want to thank everyone who is watching on YouTube. I just have to let you know that we are live. We are here for the African Father in America podcast, and we are enjoying a conversation around a Congolese proverb that says, "Children are the reward of life." And so if you have something that this proverb brings to your heart, brings to your mind, share in the comments. For now, I want to go on to my next guest, who is also another amazing supporter of this show, Duchess Meadows, aka Unfuck with the boy. I don't know how to say that very, very well, but I have to say it because you like it. So share with us your thoughts on this proverb. Share with us how this week has been for you. You're also one of the great silent listeners of the show. Sometimes you can't speak, but you're always commenting, you're always reaching out, messaging me and letting me ask. Sometimes you're even asking how I'm doing. So you tell us how you're doing today, what today's proverb means to you, and what are some of the things that you're hoping for next week in regards to the show. Thank you so much.
Good morning to the room and good morning, Simon. Thank you for having me as always. This proverb, children are the reward of life. It definitely brings a lot of feelings, especially as someone who is not only a mother but works with children in our public school system. Children really are a gift in so many ways, and there are so many things that I learn from them almost daily. And it's just something about having that pure innocence and joy for life that is inspiring when we speak on children. As for how I'm doing great so far this Friday morning. It's been a pretty good and productive week, and I'm just looking forward to hearing more of what you bring to the table. And I am a longtime supporter. I will always support you, even when I'm not on Clubhouse. I watch on YouTube. So I love what you do in these spaces, and I can't wait to watch you to continue to grow.
Thank you. I deeply appreciate that. I just want to check in with you, Brother Earth. Are you in a position to speak, or can I say a few things? I just want to check.
Hey, peace and love, Simon. I'm ready to go.
Excellent. The floor is yours.
Gratitude. Peace and love once again, family. Brother Earth. I'm coming from the North Carolina territory. And greetings. Always beautiful conversation, powerful conversation. As far as the week, Simon, what I've come to understanding or starting to feel like is a lot of times when people come on and tell their stories, it gives you an opportunity to see their growth and evolution. And with this podcast, a lot of times during your interviews, you give people or the listeners get an opportunity to see how people grow and evolve and it helps inspire or give inspiration to show, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what you're coming from, if you put your mind in the right place and your heart behind it, and God is leading on, the victory is assured. And I just want to say gratitude for you and your whole team, Simon, for being so consistent, having that drive to keep everything flowing the way that it does. And as far as the proverb goes, children are the reward of life. And back in the day, let me get my throat right. I don't know if you know her or not, but the late great Whitney Houston, you know, peace and blessings be upon her. She had a song where she said, "I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way." And I done heard people say, the present is a gift, the gift of right now. But what better reward is than to have a future? And understanding that the children are the ancestors come again and us moving forward. But when you have a child and you put within your child the things that you've learned, it's they supposed to take it to the next level. And just to be able to see them grow and unfold, like just watching my daughter grow, so many little ways and little things about me that I see in her. And when I see her do something that I used to do as a child or something that I like as a child, it just warmed me up in a special place on the inside. And so I totally feel where you come with the proverb, that's such a rewarding feeling. And, it was something else that I was thinking about, and I was kind of on the fence about saying it. But the sister brought about how in a lot of societies, a woman's ability to have children or not have children plays a role in society. And it had me to reflect about, I had this friend of mine, one day me and him was riding around, and he was going to do a whole lot of stuff, doing a whole lot of errands for his mother. His mother couldn't get around how she needed to. You know what I mean? And I told him, I said, man, that's real good that you're able to do that for your mother. And, you're going to be blessed for that. But I asked him a question. I wasn't trying to be funny, but I thought about it. He was older than me at the time, but when he was in high school, or right out of high school, he ended up marrying a girl who couldn't have children. And I asked him one day, because she can't have children, do that mean you shouldn't have children? I said, because all of these things that you are doing for your mother, if and when you have children and you get to the point that you can't do for yourself, you know what I mean? This is the things that your children are supposed to do. And I said, by you being in a situation like that, it kind of threw me for a loop. And, understanding that the pinnacle of adulthood or the pinnacle of being grown is being responsible. And there is no greater responsibility to a parent than the seeds that they bring forth to this earth. And I'm going to park my plane right there. Gratitude again, family. Brother Earth. Peace and love.
Peace and love to you, Brother Art. Thank you for your contribution as well. Again, I just want to thank you for your consistency and for your support for this space. And I want to thank everyone who is watching on YouTube. Make sure again you give this video a thumbs up and you leave us with your comment in regards to what Brother Art just shared in regards to today's proverb. We want to hear all of it. Now I want to go to Natasha Brown, who is our last guest today. How are you doing? Where are you joining us from? And what are your thoughts in regards to today's proverb from Congo? It says that children are the reward of life.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm coming from Brooklyn, New York. I'm presently driving, so give me a few. My thoughts are children are the treasures of the world. I think I wrote it down below because I was busy. To have children is a blessing from God, and the way we treat them is how our life will turn out. So if you treat children as treasures, the goodness of the Most High will be returned to you. So I always, even if it's not my own child, I always try to treat them like they're treasures of the world. And what we do as adults helps to shape them. And we also have to remember that they are the ones who are going to be ruling the future. So the way we treat them, if we treat them poorly, our world will turn out poorly. But if we treat them the best that we can and teach them all the knowledge that we can, then we have a chance. Our world has a chance. So those are my thoughts on it. And if I don't get to speak to everyone, have a good day.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I love that. I love powerful, messages that are short and sweet, And you just did that. Be safe over there on the roads in New York, and just know that you're deeply appreciated by your village. Now, I want to again thank all my friends and family who have been here with me the whole time. We are almost hitting the 1 hour mark since we started the show today. So a big thank you to M. Jewel for all your comments on YouTube. A big thank you to all our speakers who joined us here. Stephen, you were with John there in Kisumu when the show was beginning. And I just wanted to make sure we give him a little more space in case he's still with you. Can you confirm that for me, Stephen?
Unfortunately, John have already left, but he'll be joining us in our next sessions.
Excellent. Wonderful. Well, for those who are joining us, we've been, really listening to some of the greatest interpretations of today's proverb from Congo, and also just reflecting on how this whole week has been. If you look at some of the videos on this channel, especially the last 5, those are from this week. They're fresh from this week. And now I just want to create space for everyone who is on the stage on Clubhouse. Is there anything that any one of you want to say before I begin wrapping up our conversation for the day? It's popcorn style. Excellent. Well, this is going to be the end of our time together today. I just want to say thank you. And I want to say that this work is not easy, That's why you don't see a lot of people live streaming every day, We do it Monday to Friday. And as you can see, I was kind of stretching and hugging myself because I'm actually tired, And you also have to put a lot of work and improvements in this work, You have to ask for help, Yesterday I was on a phone call with cabs for almost an hour. We didn't even plan it, So I just want you to know that similar to what we are doing here with the African Father in America podcast, you can always apply this energy that we are putting here into your own life. You can apply it in your own idea. You can apply it in the way that you treat your children. You can apply it even in how you're breathing. Sometimes we are so stressed that we don't even know that we are not breathing, So I just want you all to know that for me, I deeply appreciate it because I know that I can't do this on my own, There's another great African proverb that says that, wisdom is like fire. Everybody takes it from each other, So that's what this space means to me. And with those few remarks, I wish you all a beautiful weekend. And it's Friday. Wow. Yeah, I wish you a beautiful weekend and a nice rest of your day. And this 2023, we are already winning. Don't even think about it. We are already winning. Okay. Peace and love.
African Father in America. Tujikaze, jikaze. African Father in America.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.